the hollow iron ball filled with gunpowder.
Oh.
Yes.
How many mortars do you have?
Right now, the two back there.
There's one there.
Yes. So, going back to the cannon. Yes, they can fire a shot like this. It's based, cannon's name is based off the amount that it can, the size of the cannonball. So this right here is is a 3-pounder. You guys can feel it. See how heavy it is. Yep. Now, a cannon can fire more than just one solid iron ball. It can fire many small iron balls in what is known as case shot or grape shot. Now, grape shot is going to be firing these small little balls, about 75 in a small Campbell soup size can, that when fired, the can is going to melt and it's going to become a giant shotgun.
So now how fast can this go?
Fast as this. Alright. Yes. Yeah, but it's-
Wait, a mortar?
What?
Yep. The mortar is 10.
Well, this is a real musket. These are guns. Guns are bigger than muskets.
I'm a little different because instead of that musket, I have a drum or a musical instrument. So in the British Army, I'm known as a field musician. That's because I play music in big open fields like this, or like fields you might have a battle on. Now, let me ask you a quick question first. Back in the 18th century, it's the 1700s, during the American Revolution, do we have radios?
No.
Do we have cell phones?
No.
Do we have PA systems like your school announcements? No. Do we have megaphones? Microphones? Do we have letters?
No.
Yes, we have letters. But are letters particularly quick?
No.
No. If I want to get 1,000 guys to do all the same thing at the same time, can I use a letter to do it? No, not really. How about shouting? Is that shouting a better option? A little bit, right? Can I shout? We've got an American over there by where you guys came in. Do you think if I shouted to Ben, he'd be able to hear me?
No.
No, probably not, right? Now, if we were at a lot of people here, and maybe, what are a lot of loud noises happening in the 18th century military? Gunshots, cannon firing, right?
Mortars.
Mortars firing. Now, if we had all that going on and I'm trying to shout to Ben, you think you can hear me? No, definitely not. So, if we don't have radios or all that other technology back in the 18th century, and shouting's not very effective, how do we communicate? How do we get this instant communication? I heard someone say it. Yeah,
Drums and music.
all right. Exactly. So drums and music. But what do I do? Do I just wail on the drum and hope people figure things out? All right. What do you think?
There's specific patterns. So you know, like if it goes go left, there could be da-da-da-da, go right. It's different patterns, so he knows. He can listen for the drums, and by the patterns, he knows what to do.
Yeah, he actually got the patterns right. For there's a right face, there's a tap, and there's a left face, so just kind of a da-da, just like you said. So exactly that. I play very specific rhythms. Each rhythm is very, very simple, very, very repetitive, and they're all very distinct sounding from one another. And I tell the soldiers everything in battle, from load and fire your gun, advance your bayonets, charge bayonets, retreat from the enemy, to surrender to the enemy, things like that. But I'm also controlling your life here in the fort, so your daily life, right? You have to know when it's time to wake up. So I have a song to tell you it's time for that. Another song that's totally different sounding tells you it's time to assemble, maybe for drill or guard duty or something like that. I have another song that tells you it's time to eat lunch. Another song that tells you it's the end of the day, so it's like your school dismissal bells. Everyone really likes that one. Those two, actually. Right? I have another song that tells you it's time to go to bed. Little songs for things like we need wood, we need water. We have other work details you have to do. So my job is really to be the officer's voice. Right? The officer tells you everything you need to do, but he's going to tell you to do it through me. Sound pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are about 50 of these different tunes. That sound hard to learn? You guys as soldiers, you have to learn to recognize them, know exactly what they mean, and respond to them pretty quickly, right?
Yes.
So that seems kind of hard, maybe a little bit hard. Like I said, these are really, really simple songs and really simple patterns.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play a couple of them for you, and I want to see if you guys can already start to pick up the differences between them. Sound like a good plan?
Yeah.
All right, I gave you a huge list. Anything on that list sounded interesting? I'll do like maybe 2 or 3 of them.
The dismissal and lunch.
Dismissal for lunch. Well, how about we'll definitely do lunch. How about anyone else want something else?
Mortar fire.
Mortar fire. So we have a preparative to fire. That's for our mortars, for cannons, and also for the muskets. That's a nice short one. The wake-up call. All right. So those are 3 good ones. We're going to start with the wake-up call. Do this in order. All right, so this is really simple, really repetitive, so you can hear those things. Yeah, so that's a musket firing from all the way over here, so it's kind of loud, right?
It sounded like a drum.
A little bit, right? All right, so this is the wake-up call. So listen for how simple it is, how repetitive it is. Second version of your morning wake-up call. We would play that for 20 minutes.
Oh my
Hear
God.
how repetitive it was?
Wow.
Very effective wake-up
I'd be
call.
like, I'm awake.
All right, so you guys see it? Very repetitive, very simple. All right, now let's contrast that to lunch call.
He doesn't stop.
That's a dismissal song. So
He
this
probably
one tells
can't
you
get up
the
because
end of the
they're
day. You get to take a little break. At the same time, the flags are going to come down. Some other things are going to happen at this time of the day. Now, this is one of those songs that's context clues. So if we're here in camp and you hear this song, you know it means the day is over. I get to take a break. But because this song is called The Retreat, if we were on the battlefield, what do you think it means? Retreat. What's another word for retreat?
Run.
Run, leave, fall back. Yeah, we're going to fall back. We're going to be very, very organized in our way of leaving the battlefield. But it's all about context, right? If you're here in camp and you're at the retreat, you're not going to retreat. There's nothing to retreat from, right? All right? So listen for, again, this is really, really basic, really simple, really repetitive. It's going to sound totally different. All right, you ready? How repetitive that is? Again, that's another song we play for 20 minutes. So you're really going to hear it. So it sounds totally different from the reveille, the first one I played, right? And then the last one we asked for the preparative. So this is make ready, get ready to fire your gun. Have you guys seen you haven't seen a musket demo yet, right?
Not yet.
No.
Now you have a cannon. So when you watch both the cannon demo and the musket demo, at one point they're going to say something called make ready. That means they're going to either cock the musket, right, make it able to fire, or all the cannoneers are going to cover their ears, and you're going to see a linstock. It's the part that actually sets the cannon off to go up. So this is the command to tell both of those guys it's time to fire. See how short and simple it is? Yeah, right? Super simple.
Yeah.
No, that one goes very quickly because we don't have 20 minutes to fire. It's quick and fast. But you'll see how some of them are long and repetitive, and some of them are simple, short, quick to the point. The morning one, everyone hates the morning one. All right, so that's how that worked. Now, one other question. Did you guys notice how loud this drum was?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super loud. Now, you seem like you probably played drum.
Our God King, King Louis, his picture is hung up in the French castle. He's a very great man.
Okay.
So, below this, I put this piece of paper between my teeth, grip, spit, turn this, cast it about. All the rest of my gunpowder goes down into my barrel. Oh, come on. Ram it down. And I'm all loaded and ready to fire. Short enough? Now you saw me rip and spit, yes?
Yeah.
Do you know why I rip and spit? Because the cartridge is full of gunpowder. Gunpowder is made of 3 ingredients. Charcoal, that you cook your hamburgers and hot dogs on. Sulfur, it's deep in the ground. It's a stabilizing agent. Smells like eggs. You'll understand in a second. And saltpeter. Saltpeter is made by boiling together cow manure and urine together. So every single time I need to fire, I
That's a
bite
good
into
deterrent.
that. Very nice. This is right, who's ready for something loud? All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. So, we're not going to go through and win a battle by shooting at them alone. They're going to shoot back at us. That is why we have this. This is le bayonet. It goes on top of my weapon and turns my shooty into shooty and stabby. So I can do both. But it will stay with me so I may be able to stick it and pull it off. What?
It's a barrel.
It's a bayonet. And as you saw, because of close quarters, I also have a sword. Later on, I trade the sword in for something that was easier and more North American. If you've seen our native friends, you might have seen them carrying around a tomahawk. But we go through, get rid of our swords, and grab their tomahawks because we realize how useful they are. They can chop firewood. They can also be impaled in your enemy's skull and retrieve back out. That is why we call them the skull smashers. So, you guys have any questions?
And they're all on guard. That means that they're going to be responsible for any problems that happen at the fort. When people are trying to come to the fort to attack it, enemies trying to approach the fort, they're going to be the first ones called to get out the door and stop the enemy from coming. So they're going to be 20 to 30 soldiers in this room. They're going to be responsible for 2 2-hour sentry posts out in the fort. Now where that could be, it could be upstairs looking out, could be out on the walls, walking the walls to see who's coming, could be out at the edge of the woods when you first came in. On your bus, you came through little toll gates, right? Toll booths? Could be way out there looking to see who comes to the fort. Or it could be at the Gate of 5 Nations when you first came in. You'd be stopped by a guard. But when they're not doing that, they can come back into this room, and for the other 20 hours of their day, they can do whatever they want to do. They can sleep on one of the long beds behind you over there.
They're beds?
Beds, yeah. They can play cards. They can sing songs. Did you see the musician yet?
Yeah.
Right, so they can play songs or sing songs that maybe the musician taught them. What's different with their cards and your cards? These have numbers?
They don't need numbers.
These don't have numbers,
They
do
don't need
they?
numbers, yes.
And they don't have letters on them. That's because most of the soldiers can't read or write. So they're going to have to memorize the cards. Do you know how to read and write?
The correct answer is yes.
So, let me try it again. Do you know how to read and write? Yes. So guess what the sergeant's probably going to have you do when you're in the barracks room. Or in the guard room. Teach the other soldiers how to read and write. Okay? Get them started on that, because an intelligent soldier, one that knows how to read and write, is worth more than one that doesn't know how to read and write.
Yeah.
Okay? True. So, even then, education was important. That's my public service announcement. What about this? They have some of these things around because they may have to repair their uniform while they're in the guard room. So what's this?
Shoe.
This is a sole, you're right. This is the sole of a shoe. And this is the
Heel.
heel. So actually, I have to fix my shoe later today. The sole's falling off of it. So I would sit here in the guard room, put a new sole on my shoe, and a new heel. So I'd have a whole new bottom of shoes. Anybody have a shoe like that on today? No. I do. But you all have sneakers on.
Yeah.
Our
teacher told us we had to
Oh. Okay, I bet that really wasn't too hard for you guys. Was it?
She has flip-flops. She has
That
flip-flops.
doesn't count.
She has
What's this? What the heck is this thing?
game.
This is not a game. Remember, we're raising hands. What about you over there? This is our time, the hopeful Bills fan.
Oh.
What this is.
What do you think it is, Landon?
I saw that.
I love Bills. The Bills are my life.
No, it almost looks like a sewing needle, doesn't it? They would have sewing in here. They would have sewing needles. This is for the gun, all right? This is to fix the gun. So a good soldier has this in their cartridge box ready to go to fix a gun. This is a pick to pick at your hole. It's a touch hole or vent in the gun. So you're going to open it up using this. And this is essentially like a screwdriver, all right? That they're going to use to take the bolts and nuts off of their gun so they can fix things. What about this? What's this that they would be using? Back here.
Powder.
It's not powder. It's not powder. It's for cleaning, but it's not powder.
Cleaning.
Before you fall out of your shoes. Soap, yes. Soap is made from animal fat and lye.
Yeah.
You're saying yes. So you know where we get lye from?
It's just the frog.
L-Y-E. Where do we get lye from?
Trees.
No.
Lime.
That was a wild shot, right? We get it from the ashes behind me. So when this fire dies out, it's going to leave ashes.
When he's done, he's going to cover it with his left hand and raise his right hand up so you let me know that the gun is ready to be fired. So, next command, be Gunter, get ready. Now, one back there is holding the link stop. That is the trigger system. On that long stick at the end, we have a snow mat. That is a rope covered or soaked in Jack and Nitrate and vinegar, which is going to burn at the consistency of a lit cigarette. It can stand many types of weather. Now, at the command, fire. We're going to fire the piece. Now that you know how we do it, we're going to get ready for this as we do it. So, you guys will let you know when you have to cover your ears. Cover your take care. Vent. Third piece. Front piece. Title charge. Advance.
It takes a long time to get this done.
Load.
And then you have to try to hit
Down
the ship.
charge.
Do it again.
Pick and try. Gunter, make ready. Now is a perfect time to cover your ears. Fire.